All right, so we're going to go over a mini scheme here. This is an offensive mini scheme. It is going to be, it's not even a mini scheme, it's a full scheme. And I think what's important in Madden is that we have multiple schemes. So it's really weird. Sometimes we'll be playing a particular opponent or even the computer, and for whatever reason, their playbook or their sets of players, their style of play, whatever, certain formations just seem to work better against them. So I'm going to do an under center formation today. This thing, I guarantee you, if you get good at it, you will be a better Madden player. I mean, unless you're obviously an advanced player, okay? So we're gonna come at you today from the I form close. We're gonna go to our audibles, which is L2, and we're gonna replace double outs with halfback stretch. We're gonna play stutter goes with PA tight end leak. So our four audibles are gonna be a stretch to the outside, an inside run, the tight end leak, and the PA deep cross go. There's some other good pass plays in this formation. The PA boot flow is actually not too bad. The PA deep cross go is a go-to play. You can catch your opponent sleeping with that. The PA spider mesh is a good play. You can literally flood on that play if you want, or you can run it like a standard mesh. It works very well. The PA tight end leak is probably the best pass play in this formation. And then the double outs is a really good formation. Both of those outs get open very well. And surprisingly enough, that tight end up the seam, that post route can get open. So this is a very good formation. You also, if you're wanting to battle AI, you know, that sort of adaptive AI that they supposedly have, a trick is to sub in a tight end. So at your fullback position, you can substitute Ingold for, say, Darren Waller. Now that gives you an extra tight end, and they have to match that personnel. If they don't, the adaptive AI is shut off. So anyway, we're going to get into it. We're just going to go over the runs really quickly, and we're just going to do this against random defense. Okay, these outside run plays are really good plays. They're generally speaking 5-6 yards. They're very good plays. When you run to the outside like that, you get some good spacing, you get some good lead blocking. And then one of the things that you can do, and I'm waiting for it, I'm going to run one more to the outside, and I could have run that better, but so there we go. That's what we're wanting. So we're going to flip the run play, and then we're going to take our outside receiver, and as soon as he crosses the left tackle, we're going to hike it. And you can see, even though the blocking is typically better on that play, that is a play you can run for money. And then you can also just audible when you see a gap in the line like that. That fullback is going to follow you through. And if you don't get a horrible block shed from Mean Joe Green, you can get some good yardage out of that play. So I'm going to run it again, but we're going to run it into steam here. So it's not going to be the most fun play. But I want to get to one of the defensive formations where you can see. So we audible it. That fullback is going to plow through and help us. And very often you can crib that run. It is an excellent run. The next play is, of course, this PA tight end leak. Stock. This is a good play, especially when you have sort of potentially a cover 2, cover 4 look. You can keep that post, right? Or you can streak your outside receiver. In this case, I'm going to streak the outside receiver because I don't trust that post is going to get open. But your first look is going to be, is X going to get open? If not, you've got your safety valve as your R1. It's a play action. It's a run-heavy offense, so people are going to have to respect the run. And let's just see how it works. R1 is open. So even on a play that's semi-broken, it works. And then we're going to run this play. This crosser play is an awesome play. It almost always gets open if, of course, the defensive line doesn't destroy you. And one of the things I like to do is put the tight end on an out route, okay? And then I'm going to shift my line, slide right protection, because that tackle's got to pick up that outside rusher now. Even the audibles are not working right now. The game seems really laggy tonight. I apologize, but we're going to make do. There we go. Wide open. It's a great, great play. But there's something else. You remember when we motioned our outside receiver on the run play? We're going to do the same play, and we're going to motion Chase over here. And what that's going to create is it's going to create essentially an unstoppable corner route. Very difficult to stop. Throw it in the break, even when covered, it's not covered. You see how he was open? It was just a poor pass. We're going to do it again. So they're going to be thinking that that's a run when you motion him over, because that's what you've shown him. And look at that, wide open. This is a devastating offense, okay? Can you run this offense the whole game? Sure. Absolutely you can. You're going to want to incorporate the outs if you do that. So I'm going to show you this out play. And there's a lot you can do with this out play. But just stock. It's a very good play. These out routes have some of the sharpest bites. It's almost a guaranteed 5 or 6 yards. Okay, now obviously human opponents are going to get wise to that. Let's just watch the X route through the middle. That was my fault. I apologize. I double clicked the ball there, or click the button there. But let's see if this X route gets open. It's not constant. And if I had thrown that a little bit better, it would have gotten through there. But you can see that that X route will get open sometimes. And if you see it, go ahead and go for it. It's a pretty big gainer. But these out routes are great. You can also do things like check and release both. Okay, what that's going to do is it's going to force those any defenders in the box that have to recognize those players as receivers, and it's going to freeze them a little bit, and that might give us a little extra bite on that X route or these out routes. See how they froze in the middle there? Again, I threw that through a tight window just on purpose. I'm not looking to be a great Madden player in this tutorial. I'm showing you what this can do. Watch this out route. That's with tight man coverage there. So, and then again, we go back to the runs. And even when you see this sort of stacked sort of personnel on the right side, it's just still an excellent run. Look at that blocking we get out there. I mean, that's 6 to 10 yards most of the time. Okay, and then, you know, on this one, I'm going to go ahead and run just to show you how the blocking sets up. Look at that. And again, I'm not using any stick work or anything. I'm just running through the hole. Okay. Now, there are opportunities on these run plays for huge gains, and we're not getting them very well in this setup because of the defenses, but against human opponents, especially running dollar, this can open up some massive holes. Okay, so just keep practicing these runs, learning how the blocking actually gets picked up. The defenders get picked up, and you will be able to run very well. Again, we motion these things out. He's thinking, oh gosh, is this a pass? Is this a run? And of course, I didn't have my audible set right, so, but you can even see scrambling wise. This formation is really a good formation. It really is. I use it a lot. See, that's the type of blocking I'm talking about, and I'm not trying to do any fancy stick work here or anything like that. So this little formation is an excellent, excellent formation. Again, we've got the halfback stretch, and if you are worried if they're matching personnel, you've got the stretch and you've got the zone toss. Both of them have their merits. I like the stretch a little bit better, but the Jets zone toss, sometimes it's even a better play than the stretch. You've got the inside run with the 95 Mike. You've got the power O, okay, and you can run either side. You can flip these and run them, no problem. And then you've got the halfback ISO, which is a really, really good run play in itself. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 excellent runs. This PA boot flow, it's a nice, when you've been running and running and running, okay, you've got some decent passes here. That corner route might get open and that post might get open. If you want to play around, streak your X route. And if that safety who's lit up bites, then your post is going to get open. So that route there, that play is an excellent play. So in this situation, we now have reversed our run. See the lineup? Look at that blocking. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We almost cribbed that run. Okay? This formation is really, really good. And if you're just starting out in Madden, I'm telling you, learn this formation. Excellent runs. Doesn't have any of the RPOs, but you got 5 great runs, an adequate pass there, a great passing route with that deep cross. That's a great passing route. You're still going to have 4 receivers if you put the tight end on any kind of route, but an out route, you know, or an in route, sorry, is what I prefer. You got the spider mesh, which is, it's a standard mesh play. They're stocks in football and Madden. And you've got the tight end link, and you've got the double outs. It's an excellent, excellent, excellent formation. Okay. I'm also going to show you a mini formation, and this is from the iForm slot. This is all out of the Jets Playbook, which is very possibly the most popular offensive playbook. So we're going to set up our audibles, and instead of the double slants, we're going to do the bubble, and then we got a zone weak, just like with the iForm close. We have an outside run and an inside run. That outside run cannot be picked up by the adaptive AI. This Y cop is an excellent play, and then we're going to replace the dagger with the slants. Okay, don't use the slants very often, but they can be effective. That's a double slant route. A little bit of a high-low there. Okay, so we're going to come out, and the stretch alert bubble is the key to the formation. Okay, this is an excellent run. Even when you have a symmetrical formation like this, where there are players to the out, watch how the players react when we run this. See how they get dumbed out? Look at that. And that's not even what they will typically do. I'm going to go ahead and run this. Normally what I would do is I would audible over here and run through here. Okay? But I'm going to show you how these players react. So we've got 5 over here, but watch what these players do. Notice how they go in. That was a play that gained us yards, and a lot of times that will gain us big yards, even when they are stacked on the other side. You can audible when you see the gap here. Excellent blocking on this run. I could have just taken that to the crib. Okay, so these 2 plays right here, enough. So we're coming out. This is the defense that your human opponent has chosen. I want you to key in on Number one, the defensive back that's covering him. If that defensive back bites in at all, you're going to pass it immediately. He does. We pass it. We've got a blocker out here, 10 yards. It's a great goal line play. It's a great play for short yardage, and frankly, that play can get you some big yards. Let's see if we can get this pass. We can't, so we run it. 5. We fell forward for 8 yards, even when it looked like it was covered. And all we're waiting for is, number one, our receiver. If Chase's defender bites to the inside, it's an immediate pass. Look at that. You can get 80-yard passes off that sometimes. So this little this little mini scheme is a great scheme. Now, how do we pass out of this? So if we go to this Y hop, this doesn't look like a lot. Corner route is very powerful. For me, this is what I like to do. Okay, and if I had hot route master, I would put the running back on a table route, but instead we're going to do an out route. But look at that. Watch. Let's see what happens. We got it. And of course, our guy got bumped. That play will get open much of the time. And we're not even going to, we're going to keep X out there right now. Let's see what happens. See? Even in tight coverage, that corner route gets open. It's a great play. Look at all the room we have here in the middle. Look at that formation. We got our fullback taking the middle linebacker out. What do we got? 15 yards there? This formation is powerful, you guys. 3 plays. So if we get in trouble and Chase is covered, we've got X on a drag and we've got our running back. So let's check out. He's going to be open. And that's a cribber, or close to it. So there are two schemes, one full scheme and one mini scheme. And this mini scheme, if you're playing an opponent who is not that talented, look at this run. Look at this. 15 yards. You can run this all game. You can run a guy right out of the game. If you come out in this as your first formation, and I will do this sometimes, if I feel like the guy's movements are a little bit messed up on the kickoff, when I'm returning it, and he just seems, you know how you have to play it, but when a guy comes down and he tackles you, oftentimes you can tell what kind of player he is. Okay, super aggressive. If he doesn't really know what he's doing, if you see him click on multiple guys and then move out of the way, you know he's probably a little bit more of a newbie. You come out in this, and you stand a really good chance. Even on a play like that, it's still 6-7 yards, right? Now, this really isn't really fair. This is more of a prevent defense, but 10 yards. I mean, you see most of these runs, they're 5 to 10 yards easy. And then let's key in on Chase again, and let's see if his defender bites. He bit. Pass. And I'm telling you, if we hold that pass a little bit longer, we get a nice setup on the block. Now this play, you think, oh, don't run to the outside. I'm going to go ahead and run to the outside, and more than likely, we're going to get decent blocking. 10 yards without any stick, right? So let's go ahead and do this play again. And by the way, that X route, I'm just going to keep this play stock and just streak the outside receiver. And he's going to get open. This is what I'm talking about. These two formations, and you can play them however you want. You can audible back and forth to them. And now they're like, oh crap, we're back in close, right? And now you got a nice inside run. Say it's 3rd and 3. Boom. Read the blocker. 14 yards. Right? Well, here's the play. I'm going to go ahead and throw the pass play. Oh, sorry. That's my fault. I forgot what formation we're in. I think this is a good play for this play. Let's see if our short post gets open. Let's see. No, he won't. But running back in the flat. What do we got? 12 yards out of that? 11? And of course, you know, something like this, I prefer to run inside and just gather up the chunks, the yardage chunks, right? But these two formations, I form close, and the stretch alert bubble out of the I form slot. Great formations.